everyone, I'm back with a fresh smartwatch review, and I'm not entirely sure what this model is, so I'm going to flash it up on your screen right now. So this watch comes with two spare bands, one in black, one in brown, which is really nice when you get extras like that. Let me open this guy up and see what's in the box. It says heart rate, sport mode, calorie, mileage, and then on this side, heart rate, sport mode, calorie, mileage. I think this is one of the new laser therapy watches. Okay, there's a little pin that popped out for the band. There's a wristband. Here's the charging cable. And let's see what else is underneath here. We've got a user manual here. So, smartwatch, I don't see a make or model number yet. So, this is kind of a surprise. I ordered this with my own money off of AliExpress. Let me press and hold the button here and see if anything comes to life. It looks very, very similar to my E88 that I've been wearing on my wrist. So let me get this guy charged up, wear it for several days, and come back with my full, fair, and honest review. And I'm back after wearing this watch for several days. It has become a really a favorite watch of mine now. So from the main screen, if you swipe down, you can get to some settings. You can adjust the brightness, the physiotherapy. We'll talk about some more about that in a minute. You can adjust the strength and the time duration for the light therapy. And you can look at the device name. Again, this is the model E300. And there's some other settings here. You can get the QR code to download the app. And you can adjust some nighttime settings to turn off vibration alerts and whatnot while you're sleeping. And if you swipe up, you get your messages. This will collect your messages from your phone when connected via Bluetooth Low Energy. It's a nice big display. It's a 1.32 inch 360 by 360 color screen. It's IP68 waterproof. Now if you scroll from right to left, you get into your kilocalorie count, your steps per day, and an estimated number of miles. Now that only works if you have location services turned on with your phone. It gets any sort of mileage guesstimates from your phone, not from the watch. This is not a GPS watch. Okay, and then from there you get into your physiotherapy. Again, this is that red laser therapy that we'll talk about. It will take your body temperature. It will do your continuous heart rate. I have it right now set to take my heart rate every hour, I believe, or every 30 minutes. I forget which. And you can adjust the time period on this. This is also an EKG ECG watch. I really like this a lot. Again, we'll get into that in the app. It will do your blood pressure. To take your blood pressure, you just tap it and hold still and don't talk, which obviously I'm talking. But I'll show you my readings in the app. It does a pretty good job. Blood oxygen saturation, or SPO2. It will do your respiratory rate. This is the amount of times you breathe per minute, and then you can get into the sports modes. And then now this watch falls under the category of a health tracker, not really a fitness watch. It's got various activities in here, but really it's just going to keep track of the time duration engaged in that activity and give you some estimate of kilocalorie burn and track your heart rate. It's not going to pull in much beyond that. Unless you're connected via BLE and location services on your phone, then it might give you some tracks if you're outdoors. It will pull in the weather from your smartphone, okay? It'll give you the forecast and tell you the highs and lows today and tomorrow. It tracks your sleep. And now we're back to the beginning. It's a nice, big, easy to read display. I like this an awful lot. Let me flip this bad boy over and get into it a little bit more. Okay, so I mentioned this is a red light therapy watch. It's a red laser light phototherapy. It's got a 650 nanometer laser built in here. It's actually got two lasers. Now, never ever look directly into this. But when you're in this mode and you turn on those lasers, you can see the red laser emanating, and it will cast a line. That will go in through your wrist into your blood layer. And these watches make health claims about what this therapy is good for. Now, I'm not making these claims, the manufacturer does, but it says it can increase blood flow, stimulate red blood cell activity and the oxygen carrying capacity of red blood cells, and also they make claims about lowering blood glucose. I don't believe any of that. I just don't think a wrist-mounted red laser device such as this is going to do much of anything. But those are the claims they make. But hey, you know what? When it's on your wrist and that kicks on, it looks pretty darn cool. It really does. And you can also, when it takes your body temperature, your heart rate, SPO2. Here, it actually uses the red diode. So this has red and green diodes, which I really like in a health tracking device. I just think both colors embedded just give you much better numbers for those health tracking issues, especially the blood oxygen saturation. You know, I really like this watch a lot. Let's go look at the app. Let's get into the app here, and it is the familiar Smart Health app. Now, I like this app. I've reviewed this many times before with various smartwatches. But you see right at the top, it gives you your step counts, your kilocalorie burn, your number of minutes active. It will go, I'll just run through the list here, your EKG or ECG, your blood pressure, your high versus low, your maximum and minimum blood pressure over the measurements it's taken, your heart rate, your sleep tracking, your blood oxygen saturation tracking, your respiratory rate, and your body temperature. All I find to be within the realm of pretty believable. I think it takes these measurements fairly well, you know, bearing in mind this is not a medical grade device by any stretch of the imagination. But I like keeping track of my blood pressure, and you can just track that over the course of the day or night. I have it set up to take this measurement every hour. So you see my high, my low. These are credible. They're, you know, they're in the ballpark. The EKG measurements, you can look at the record of all the measurements you've taken, okay? And you can pull up those individual records, which this graph doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm not a cardiologist, but you can look at the AI it applies to that EKG, and it gives you some diagnostic results, and all mine say normal ECG. It looks at like the QT intervals and things like that. I'm not going to get into reading EKGs, but I did that in the prior video. Maybe I'll drop a link to talk about the waveforms and all that stuff. But I think more importantly for most civilians here at the bottom, it looks at things like AFib, ventricular flutter, left bundle branch block, right bundle branch block, premature beating, and you just go through all of these and it says nothing. It didn't see anything out of the ordinary for me. I think that's how most people should look at this, is you just kind of look at your diagnosis, see if it flags anything, and if it flags something, go see a real doctor. But I like the EKG measurements. The blood pressure I like, heart rate, sleep. Hey, you know, I think it does a pretty good job with sleep too. You can scroll through the various days and get your analysis of deep sleep versus light sleep, when you fell asleep. All good stuff. Blood oxygen saturation. Again, I have it set up to do this every hour on the hour. And this is a case where if you had some sort of respiratory thing going on, your blood oxygen would drop. Again, that would be time to go see a doctor. Respiratory rate, mine always seems to be a little bit low, but this is right in line with that, what I know from other watches. So I like the app. You can get into some settings here. I've been wearing it multiple days and the battery's still at, what did that say, 31%. So great battery life, will last you multiple days, and that's even with the laser therapy turned on. It's monitoring my health every 60 minutes. Let's see what the minimum time is. You could do it as little as every 10 minutes. So of course that's going to chew up more battery life more quickly. You can set a body temperature alarm, a heart rate alarm, adjust the wrist brightness. This actually gives you the option of wearing it on your right hand, which is also pretty cool. And you know, you can change your themes. It's got different watch faces and whatnot, limited, but you can do it. And you can set your target for your steps for the day, your sleep. You can change the units. It's got WeChat. I don't know anything about WeChat, but it's got that here. So hey, I like it. let me go do an EKG measurement in real time and then come back with my final thoughts. All right, so I'm going to do an EKG measurement in real time here. You would go into EKG mode, click play here, the play button, and then do start test, and then you touch your finger to the side of the watch. There's an electrode there, and you stay steady and don't talk and let this thing take its measurement. Mine is probably going to be wonky since I'm on camera. It does have this annoying beep, and I can't find a way to turn it off or turn it down. But this thing will take, I don't know, about 30 seconds or so to make this measurement. See, it's not going to work because I'm talking and moving, but you get the idea. You complete this circuit by touching that electrode, and it will do your EKG. I'm going to cancel that, but it does it, and it does it credibly. So my bottom line is I love this watch. It is the one that's going to stay on my left wrist at this point. This is my new favorite. This is a keeper. And as I mentioned at the outset, it looks very similar to my E88 watch that I had been wearing for at least a month. That was my favorite. These two look nearly identical. They must come out of the same factory. This has a little extra red on the dial here, a couple extra words stamped on there, but very similar watches otherwise. This E300 is my new favorite. I'm keeping this one on my wrist. This is going to be my everyday wear. I like it. I like the styling of it. Hey, you know what to do. I do smartwatch reviews to support this channel. I'm primarily a amateur kayaker. I try to sell kayaks. I make high-end professional kayaks, so go check me out at davethekayaker.com. If you like this video and want to see more like it, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the word, leave a comment, ask questions. I can't possibly answer every question that somebody leaves on one of my YouTube videos, but hopefully we can crowdsource some of those answers and get you the answers you're looking for. This is a great health tracker. I really like it a lot. The physiotherapy, red light laser therapy, cold laser therapy, do your own research, form your own opinions, whether you think it's has any merit to it or whether it's just malarkey. There you go. Until next time, stay healthy and be fit.